Hello, my friends. Let's say hello. How's it going, everyone? Welcome. Welcome to the show. This is the NES Happy Hour with Fitz and Master G. That little gremlin you saw in my lap there, that was Fitz for Fitzgerald. My canine co-host, a little 1-year-old Boston Terrier named Fitz. I'm Master G, your main host. This is the NES Happy Hour. You've somehow found your way to our YouTube channel, Retro Gaming Adventures with Master G, and our flagship programming content, the NES Happy Hour, a live, unscripted variety special. It's got a little bit of everything, but it's all squarely focused on retro gaming and specifically the Nintendo Entertainment System. That original Nintendo from the 80s and 90s, the console you see behind me here. I'm a collector. I collect the games, I collect the manuals, I collect these boxes and the box art, and I want to share them with you. So I put together the NES Happy Hour. It's a fun little show that we have here. We do a little bit more than just the gameplay, though. If you've ever tuned into the show before, we start off with a little bit of introduction about a game from the NES library. And yes, we do intend to feature every single game one day, all 800 plus games, licensed and unlicensed. This is number 87 if you're counting at home. After the introduction about the game, we feature some very special cocktail recipes. It is, after all, the NES Happy Hour, and this is my happy hour in real life. I just finished work. I just came upstairs, and after a long, hard day at the office, I like to sit down with my puppy, Fitz, and we like to play old school Nintendo games to unwind for a little bit. So if we're going to do happy hour, we got to have cocktail recipes. Our resident mysterious mixologist comes up with wholly original cocktail recipes. We give them funny names. We pair them with each game we feature. Today's no exception. So we've got an alcoholic cocktail recipe and a non-alcoholic mocktail recipe to go with today's game, Rampart. And then we read the manuals together because manuals are a fun part of video game collecting and a fun bit of history. So I have scanned all of my game manuals into the computer. I'll put them up on the big screen for you to enjoy with me, and we'll read through them together. After that, we will take a short break, and we'll be back with the gameplay segment. And that's really what it's about, right? Because I collect these games, but I don't get a chance to play them. And this is one that I've not played that much. So that's what this show has given me. The ability, the will to play every single game on the NES console. So that's what we're going to do. We have Rampart today. It is a game I've not played for more than 5 total minutes in my life, just to get the hang of it. So we're going to be playing this one for pretty much the first time. I don't know what to expect. It's unique. It's interesting. It's a precursor to the tower defense genre of video games. I'm sure you've played some of those on your phones, at least. This game came out way back in 1990, I believe, in the arcades and was ported to the NES, among other systems. So we're going to fire that up after we get through the cocktail recipes, the manual. We're going to play it together. We're going to chat live on the show. We're going to have some fun seeing what this game's all about. And then when we're done with that, we wrap up each episode with a bar trivia challenge. It's so much fun, especially if you're tuning in live to the show, because you get to participate at home. I'll put the chat up on the screen. I scour the internet beforehand. I play game show host to you, my loyal contestants. And I'll ask you 5 multiple choice questions. Your choices will be A, B, C, D. You'll get 5 of them in order of increasing difficulty, and you shout out your answers. Try to go 5 for 5. It's very hard to do. I make my bar trivia challenge pretty difficult. But you guys should know by now, Master G is a huge fan of all things useless knowledge and whatnot. So my brain is filled with useless trivia, and I want to share some of that with you. So like I said, it's not just about the game. There's fun cocktail recipes, fun for all ages recipes, gameplay, manuals, and the bar trivia challenge. Let's talk about this game, shall we? Rampart. I told you, it's a tower defense game. So it came out, it was ported by Jaleco, who made, all the bases loaded games. Those are the ones I think of right away when I think of Jaleco. They also are responsible for bringing Rampart to the NES. It was in the arcades first. I don't think it was like a wildly popular arcade game, but they did port it to the NES and other consoles, and I think there might have been some sequels here and there. It's a pretty simple premise. It's a medieval masterpiece of power, strategy, and ingenuity. The objective is brutally simple. Engage your enemy in an all-out exchange of cannon fire. Then assess the damage and rebuild your castle. But the reality of Rampart is far more complex. The key to victory lies in how quickly you can pick up the pieces and redesign, refortify, and extend your walls before the next battle begins. Whether you're facing an onslaught from the computer's armada or pitting your castle cannons against another player's, there's only one way out: defend or perish. Up to 9 battles per war, 4 levels of difficulty, 1 or 2 players, based on the Atari arcade hit. Yes, it was an Atari arcade game. And that's it. I mean, that's the premise. It's a tower defense game. So there's rounds, right? So first you have to build walls around a tower, right? Then you place some cannons within those walls. Then you trigger the level, and ships will sail in and try to shoot your castle to bits, and you have to blow up all the ships in the harbor before they blow up your castle. After you blow up all the ships, you have a very brief period of time, probably 30 seconds or something, where you can very quickly rebuild your walls with pieces, the walls that were destroyed by the ships. And then you go again, and it gets harder and harder as you go. More and more attackers, more and more cannons firing on you, perhaps less and less time to rebuild in between levels. And it says up to 9 battles, but I thought there were only 6 levels in this game. I don't know. We'll find out all about that when we get to the manual. But before we do that, we need to talk about the cocktail recipes. We also got to give you guys some shout outs. I see some live viewers filtering in. It's good to see you again. New Super Mario Bros. Eli. Hey, guy. Good to have you. I've seen your name in our chat recently, and I've seen you on the comment board. I appreciate your support, and thank you for tuning in. If anybody else is tuned in live, say hello in the chat. I'll give you your shout outs. I owe it to you, our loyal fans. All right, there's our cocktail recipe. In keeping with the medieval theme, we have designed a cocktail recipe that we call here on the show the Faux Mead. So Mead was a honey drink from that era, and it was basically, I guess it was sort of like a beer, but like an extraordinarily alcoholic beer. So if you had a pint of mead from the Middle Ages, it would be like drinking a pint of liquor. It wouldn't be like drinking a Miller Lite at a tailgate. You know what I mean? It was really high alcohol content, and I believe honey and fermented honey featured prominently in it. So it was sickly sweet, extremely high alcohol content. We've made ourselves a faux version of that. We call it the faux mead. It's fake mead. It's not real mead. But it starts with a shot of whiskey and some actual honey to taste. You'll put all that in a shaker with ice, and you'll shake it up really, really good to get that honey dissolved into the whiskey. And then you strain that into a wine glass, and we have you top it off with ginger beer, which, by the way, is not alcoholic. Ginger beer is like some next level ginger ale. I'm sure you've heard of ginger ale. It's very sweet. It's a good mixer. People drink it when they're sick sometimes. Ginger beer is also completely non-alcoholic. You can buy it at your grocery store, and it is like a ginger ale on steroids. It burns. It's very potent. It's not sweet. You feel it in your nostrils. It's just so spicy, like actual ginger in an actual beverage. And that's what you top off your sweetened whiskey mix with, and that will give you the faux mead. So cheers. I have one here. I really don't like ginger beer just on its own. I would much prefer the ginger ale. It's so much sweeter than ginger beer. But once you add the honey in the whiskey, it makes it tolerable. As we always say on the show here, Fitz and Master G do not condone of underage drinking of any kind. So if you're not of legal drinking age, wherever you may reside, we please ask that you refrain from making yourself one of these faux mead cocktails on today's show. Instead, we have a non-alcoholic version we call the faux mead. So my alcoholic cocktail is a fake mead, and your non-alcoholic version we just call the fake mead. It's even faker than the original fake mead. We call it the Faux mead. And you're going to have to get some ginger beer, although I would strongly recommend using ginger ale instead. Both are non-alcoholic. And you're going to just mix that up with some honey to give it the same flavor as the cocktail here on the show. Serve all that ice cold in a glass. You definitely want to drink this drink ice cold. It is completely non-alcoholic, and that means it is Fitz approved. So whether you prefer the Faux mead or the Faux mead or something else entirely, I encourage you to mix up a drink and grab a snack and settle in, because we got an interesting game to get through today. It's an interesting one for sure. So cheers. I hope you have something to enjoy with me here on the show. Guys, I got to hit the button first. Guys, it's time for the manual. There it is, the Rampart manual. I told you yesterday when I plugged this show that this one was a little bit long. It's a little bit of a long manual here. It's very text heavy, not a lot of pictures, but they do try to be kind of funny. So we'll try to get through this manual pretty quickly. I'll try to entertain you. I do think this manual is quite entertaining. There's your limited warranty, your Nintendo seal of quality, and you got that nice little castle fortification all over the top there. Basically, it warns you about seizures and things. Okay, so and what type of TV to use it on. Why you should join the Jaleco Major Players. I guess that's like a fan club Jaleco had back in the 80s and 90s. You can find a membership warranty card enclosed with the game. I don't have the original membership warranty card. Fill in information and send them in with a stamp. It's like a postcard. Put a stamp on it, drop it in the mail. And then you're in the club, the Jaleco Club. You win free games. You can find out about new games before everyone else. You can test games before they're released. Of course, this is all back in the 80s and 90s, so I don't think you can do that anymore. You don't get nothing if you don't join. And then they tell you how. So that's that. Table of contents. Ye old introduction. Let's get after it. As explained by Sir Brian Du Bois Gilbert, resident expert on everything. Hark! Did that get your attention? I thought it would. No, I was not clearing my throat. In olden days, hark meant listen up. And that's exactly what I want you to do. See, when you play this game, you're going back to the Middle Ages. No, it doesn't mean that everyone who lived back then was middle-aged. The Middle Ages are the ages between the early ages and the late ages. Consult a history book if you want to know more. I don't have the time to go into it right now. The Middle Ages was a simpler time, a time before F-16s, smart bombs, and rocket launchers. Back in the good old days, war was down and dirty. You had a castle, some fortifications, and if you were really lucky, a couple of cannons to discourage any unwelcome visitors that wandered your way, like your little brother and all of his friends. So to continue my story, we're transporting you back to the Middle Ages, to a time when these two knights, Sir William of Wyville and Sir Stephen of Martival, we'll call them the Blue Knight and the Red Knight to make things easier, had set up camp right next to each other, but did not get along, to put it mildly. Sometimes one attacked the other by sea, firing from gunships out in the harbor. This was made easier for the attacker by the fact that the entire world, or the entire land, was surrounded by water. Good to see you, Skris1 in the chat. I think that's a new face. Thank you for joining. Thank you for tuning in. Yes, one of the greatest times to be alive, the 80s. Shall we continue? By the fact that the entire land was surrounded by water. At other times, they just fired at each other from castles on either side of the river that marked the border between their lands. Using your vivid imagination and a little help from modern technology, you are transformed into one of these fearless knights, defending your castles in the honor of your names, Sir Bill or Sir Steve, as the case may be. You'll experience the thrills, the excitement, the out-and-out exhilaration of furious, fast-paced, head-to-head competition as you brave the ferocious onslaught. And with your deadly aim and excellent cannon firing skills, cause the utter destruction of your opponent. Intense! The marketing guys will love that part. Each battle you win brings you closer to your goal of capturing new territory, and each new territory brings you one step closer to total victory. It's not enough to just defeat the enemy, however. There is some strategy involved in this too, you know. What's the strategy, you say? Becoming a master builder in roughly 20 seconds or less. That's what. Your castle walls are going to get pretty beat up from those 2-ton cannonballs, so you better be prepared to fix them. It would be great if you could get your serfs to do it for you. Serfs are guys from the Middle Ages that work 12 hours a day for minimum wage and got a bowl of gruel, that really runny oatmeal at the end if they were lucky. Get that history book out again. It's fascinating stuff, folks. Unfortunately for you, serfs may be oppressed, but they're not stupid. They headed for the hills the minute they heard the gunfire, so you'll just have to manage on your own. Our programmers know they're not from the Middle Ages, although some of them look like it, have thoughtfully provided you with wall pieces to help put your fortifications back together. They're made up of little stone blocks. They come in a wide variety of shapes, small ones, big ones, straight ones, crooked ones. Use these blocks to rebuild your fortifications before your opponent returns with fresh troops. I'd get busy if I were you. So I told you, that's how this game works, right? It's different phases of Onslaught. It's your basic precursor to the tower defense strategy game, right? You construct your castle, you position your cannons, you hit the go button. The enemy bombards you, and you try to kill the enemy faster than they can kill you. At the end of that phase, you have 20 seconds to very quickly scramble and rebuild all your blown up walls and fortifications. If you're fortunate enough, you might get some more cannons to place, and then you hit the go button again, and another bigger, more dangerous wave of enemies comes hurtling towards your castle trying to blow you up, and you have to blow them up before they blew you up. And it just repeats. It gets harder and harder each time. After a certain number of levels, it unlocks more land and stuff, and that's how this game advances. So that's what it is. I've kind of explained that. Let's continue. In the one-player game, you fire, like I said, at the armada of gunships that we have so thoughtfully provided on behalf of your enemy. Some of them just shoot at you. Some drop off hordes of nasty, bad-smelling grunts that move in and try to take over your castles. Others fire super cannons that leave huge, flaming craters that you must build around. Don't worry, it'll be a picnic, if you make it to lunch, that is. If you survive enough battles, you will be proclaimed conqueror of the territory and will be allowed to choose another territory to master. There are 6 territories in all. Difficulty of each battle varies, as does the number of battles you will need to fight in order to win the territory, anywhere from 3 to 8. They're determined by a complex combination of factors, so don't expect a full explanation. Basically, the better you are at winning, the more difficult it becomes. In a 2-player game, you face off against an opponent. It's not gunships, it's just 2 castles and 2 sets of cannons firing at each other. Fortunately, we're just going to be playing the 1-player version today, so we just need to worry about the armada of ships attacking us. So, here's how you do it. Put the cartridge in the machine. I've already done that. Power it up, press start the game. Move your cursor, cannon, gun sight, or wall section. The right, the left on the control pad. It's all pretty easy. Your A button, though, is how you select your castle to defend. It's also how you place your cannons. It's also how you fire your cannons. So you are going to have to move a crosshair out into the harbor and start shooting your cannons. And you do kind of have to lead the ships. It's kind of like those old Atari games like Missile Command. You have to like position the crosshair in front of the ship a little bit because it takes a second or two for your cannonball to land. So you got to lead them in order to blow them up. And some of these ships take many hits. So you got to hit them like 5 or 6 times sometimes. But that's basically the gist of it. When you are in the rebuilding phase, they're going to give you like Tetris pieces of blocks, basically. Those are your walls, right, for your fortifications. But they're all kind of like the traditional Tetris pieces, and you can rotate them in order to get them in the position you want. You press the B button to rotate those. I think that's all we need to know on there. So during the game, an on-screen timer tells you how much time you have left to choose a castle, place your cannons, or repair the walls. When it runs out, you're out of luck. That's the go button. That's when the onslaught begins. During the game, scrolling bars tell you when it's time to place your cannons, prepare for battle, yada, yada, yada. Destruction points, territory points, castle bonus, and score. Choose your options, blue player or red player. We are just playing one player, so we'll just pick one color and go. And what are your other options besides 1-player and 2-player? Are there any other options? I don't see any other options. Difficulty. So you get to choose from one of 4 difficulty levels: easy, medium, hard, and very hard. As the difficulty level increases, you get less time to rebuild during the build phase. In a 1-player game, the enemy ships move a lot faster, and there will be many more of them to fight. You can choose your grid type: dots, crosses, squares, or none. I don't know for the life of me what that means. Music, you can choose to keep the music on or off. I think we'll leave it on today, as we always do here on the show. 2-player options, in case you do have this game and want to play. You get to pick best of 3, best of 5, best of 7, or best of 9. You get 2-shot cannon, 4-shot cannon, 12-shot cannon, or impossible. This is the number of hits cannons take for both players. And then, of course, playing the game. I think we've pretty much explained it, but you press start, a timer appears. You have to choose your castle, build your walls, position your cannons before the timer runs out, because when it does, the enemy advances. Then, during that phase, after you've placed your cannons and the battle begins, you move your gun sight, your crosshair, over the enemy ships as they're attacking you. Fire your cannons. Try to blow up the ships as fast as you can, because the enemy will start to do damage to your fortifications. They'll blow up your walls you just built. They could potentially take out your cannons if their aim is true. Gunships. These are enemies with a single sail. They fire rapidly. I believe they only take 1 hit. Or maybe several hits. But troop ships have 2 sails. They fire more slowly, but if they get to land before you blow them up, they'll drop a bunch of like soldiers on the ground, and the soldiers will charge your castle, and that's really annoying. So don't let the double-sailed ships reach the land. Then the flagships, they have yellow sails. They suck. They fire super cannonballs. If the super cannonball gets launched, wherever it hits, it makes a giant flaming crater, and you can never build on that square again. And you must encapsulate your entire castle with a wall during the build phase, or you lose. Grunts are nasty little creatures. They swarm ashore from the double-masted troop ships. They can't penetrate your defenses, but they will destroy any undefended castles they reach. They're persistent, but they're not very bright. Fortunately, you have several means of defense. Fire at them with your cannons. Enclose them inside the walls. This kills them instantly, a severe form of claustrophobia. The grunts will try to stop you from doing this by getting in your way, and unfortunately, you cannot build on top of them. A few words of warning: be sure to destroy all of the troop ships during battle. Otherwise, the surviving troop ships will continue to offload grunts during the build phase. Also, grunts can appear spontaneously on higher levels, which is just stupid. Just stupid. I know, I've been there. Build and repair. After battle, you must quickly repair damaged walls of your castle and try to capture more and more land. Use the wall pieces provided to fill in holes and then build new walls. Pressing the B button to rotate them, they're like little Tetris pieces. As we mentioned earlier, you have to build around any flaming craters or roving grunts that get in the way. The important thing to remember here is you must surround at least one castle again completely during the build phase. If you're unable to surround at least one of the castles in the time given, your army is defeated, and that is game over. As you rebuild, do not leave any diagonal gaps. It is grid-based, right? So squares. The area inside, you'll know when you've completely surrounded a piece of territory because the area inside the walls turns black. Diagonals must be filled in. You get points for any territory you surround, but remember that you have to surround cannons if you want to use them in the next battle. So if your cannons are off outside of the walls, you cannot use them during the attack phase. So filled territory fills it in with black. Unfilled territory, not filled in. You see it. Additional cannons. Each time you win a battle, you're given 1 additional cannon for every castle you surround, and 2 cannons if you surround the home castle, the one that you start with. New cannons can be placed inside any enclosed area, whether it includes a castle or not. Both cannons and wall pieces will appear on top of the home castle. 2-player game, it's more of the same. I don't think there's much difference here with the 2-player game, except you take turns in your build phase. Well, I mean, it kind of alternates in 1-player as well. But you're both scrambling to complete your rebuild phase and your attack phase in the same amount of time. Scoring. So after each build and repair sequence, a banner appears showing your score and your bonus points. In a one-player game, you get points for destroying ships, capturing territory, surrounding castles. Two-player game, you get points for destroying your opponent. And ships are worth 25, grunts are worth 16. Walls in a two-player game only are worth 2 points. Each square of black territory you control is 1 point, and the castle bonus. 1 castle, 2 castles, 3 castles within the walls, perhaps 4, 5, or 6 castles. 1,400 points if you can encapsulate all of the castles on the land and protect them from the onslaught. Flashing square bonus only applies in a two-player game. When you surround a flashing square, what is the flashing square bonus? When you surround the flashing square during the build and repair sequence, you get bonus points. All right, so it's just a random bit of territory. Whoever can enclose it first gets the bonus points. Done. Winning and losing. The one-player game, once you've won enough battles to conquer the current territory, you are allowed to choose the next territory to conquer. Number of battles needed to win a game varies from 3 to 8, depending on how well you're doing. No one said it was going to be easy. When you conquer all 6 territories, you have 1 Rampart on the NES. You will lose a battle if you are unable to completely surround at least 1 castle in the build phase, the time provided. The first 2 times you are defeated, a banner appears telling you to press button to continue with more firepower. And after 3 such continues, game over. You are conquered. You will be subjected to a fate worse than death. See below for details. Oof. Man. So what happens when you lose? The losing player is taken off to a fate worse than death. Okay, maybe not worse than death, but really close to it. Your little brother starts bragging to the whole neighborhood how he beat you 4 times out of 5. And then that cute girl in your math class hears about it. And, well, better not think about it. Just keep playing, and one day you'll beat your little brother and all his friends and all of your friends. And then you'll go to the regional championship, and then the national championships, and then get the picture. So don't just stand there. Start playing. I told you this was a funny manual. Here's some game tips. Be sure to use the B button. That's what rotates your pieces during the build phase. It moves your gun sight faster during the battle phase. When you are firing at ships, position your gun sight over the bow because you do need to lead them. If you have surrounded a castle but don't have room for cannons inside, build a separate enclosure for the cannons. Just make sure the cannons are completely surrounded. Higher levels, this is a good way to create a decoy for the double-masted gunships with yellow sails, whose cannonballs leave those flaming craters. They'll only fire at walled enclosures, saving the unused castles for later battles. Pause the game by pressing start. Smart. Place your cannons carefully. If they're in tight locations, you may have trouble surrounding them later. And I think that's it, folks. After that, it is... Oh, it gives you the hotline. Back in the 80s and 90s, if you were having trouble with the game, you could call this hotline and get telephone charges. It's not a toll-free call. And then they would tell you advice. So you could be like, I'm really having trouble getting past the 6th battle on the 2nd level. Can you give me any hints? And the kind Jaleco employees at the other end of that hotline would tell you what to do. That was a true story. That really happened with video games back in the 80s and 90s. We didn't have the internet back then, guys. We didn't have the internet. You couldn't just Google advice. You couldn't just watch YouTube videos of people beating levels. You had to call. You had to pick up an actual phone. You had to dial an actual number, talk to an actual employee at the company that developed the game, and they would give you tips and hints and help beating the game as a little kid. True story. Compliance with FCC regulations in the back cover, folks, and that is it. That is the Rampart game manual. All right, guys, you know how we do it here. We take a short 3-minute break so you can mix yourself up one of our fine cocktails, either the alcoholic version or the non-alcoholic version, the fake mead or the fake mead. Grab yourself a snack. Meet me back here in 3 minutes. We'll fire up the console behind me, and we will play Rampart on the NES for pretty much the first time in my life. We'll see how this goes, guys. We'll see you then. Don't miss it. Woo, okay, we're back. We're back with the NES Happy Hour with Fitz and Master G. I'm Master G, your host. Fitz, if you're joining us late, my little canine co-host. He's having a little nap there in my lap. Fitz, do you want to say hello? No, he does not. He likes to sleep in my lap Well, we play Nintendo games. Guys, you know how this goes. We don't do emulation here on the show. This is an original cartridge in the original console. So that means you got to say a little prayer to the NES gods that it fires up first time. Here we go. Woohoo! This one's got some interesting music. It's got a lot of voiceover. So there it is. Rampart. Castles, walls, cannons, and a harbor. Let's watch it. Is it going to give us a demo? I always like to watch the demo just to get a feel for the game first, you know? Here we go. Is this... Yeah, so you pick a home castle, build a wall around it, position... Oh, then you place your cannons inside the wall. Cannon, cannon, cannon. Then prepare for battle and shoot your cannon at these ships here. Start blasting cannons. They start blasting cannons at you, blowing up your walls and stuff. You gotta hit them a bunch of times. That sucks. And see? His base is ruined. Ruined. And then you do a build phase where you only have 25 seconds to like very quickly build your walls. And this is where you lose, right? So if you can't encapsulate at least one castle entirely, you lose. You lose a life. 3 lives and the game is over. So this guy's being ridiculous. He's just gonna lose here. He is. He's definitely gonna lose because he's doing this all wrong. See? He loses. Because he doesn't have any castle fully enclosed. There it is. Shall we get started, folks? Shall we get started? What do you guys think of this game so far? I think we'll just start it up. I don't think we need to mess around with the settings. Oh, so we got advanced level, beginner level. Those are my only choices. Let's just do the beginner level. Get started. All right, I think I'll pick this castle. It's like a drummer. Alright, so now I just place cannons, do I? Alright, how about there, there, and there? Battle time. I don't know how many cannons it takes to sink them. He did some damage. He did some damage to my walls. Let's see how quickly I can rebuild, yo. You ready? Oh, what is this? What is this wall? What is this thing? Right. I'm trying to get another we'll use this one over here because I gotta shore up this wall really quick. Ah, lame. There, now I got 2 castles. What do you think of that? I got 2 castles now. Points! Give me those points. Do I get more cannons? Alright, so I get another cannon. Oh, I get a bunch of cannons. I can't put them there, though. Alright, look at that. Whoa! Mega glitch. Mega game glitch. Oh, man, I got so many cannons here. I can just blow them all up. They don't stand a chance. They don't stand a chance. I think my game is glitching out, guys. Alright, let's do that. Let's do that. Let's do that and that. There, that's all encapsulated again. I need to make sure I give my things room. Gotta make sure I have room for my cannons in here, you know? What's it doing? Did my game glitch out? Oh my god, it's so glitchy. It only glitches out like in between the levels. It's weird. Oh, I got so many cannons. So in between levels, my game cartridge is glitching out like crazy. Oh yeah, you guys are toast. Never stood a chance. Never stood a chance. Oh goodness. There, I got you. Oh man, it glitches out when it's calculating my score. After this, after we die, I might have to take the cartridge out and clean it real quick. Oh, I won. Oh, I just win. But look how glitchy it is. I can't even read it. That's no good, guys. I think I'm going to have to reset. You're going to have to do a little reset. Here. How about this? Sometimes you got to clean these old game cartridges with a little rubbing alcohol. We'll do a little emergency cleaning on the old game cartridge. It actually looks like it's in pretty good shape, but I want to make sure we can see everything. I don't know why it was all glitchy. We'll give it a little wipe, see what kind of gut comes off that cartridge. See, pretty clean. Not too bad. It's in good shape. It's in really good shape. But, I don't know, a little glitchy. It was functional. It was just slightly glitchy. You wanna go, buddy? Alright, hopefully round 2, the real round, that was just our warm-up round. Hopefully round 2 will be less glitchy. Oh, I was mistaken. It is not less glitchy. Holy cow. Well, that's not going to work. Be very careful. Nobody breathe on it, okay? Alright, let's do the advanced level. We don't need to do the beginner level. I know what I'm doing. I think I'm gonna pick... I think I'll pick this castle. Oh, that's not great. You're really only giving me places for 3 cannons. You can go there, there, there. Oof. Go! Get him! Get him! Get him! Hey, that wasn't too bad. Whew! This is nice. Hooking me up with some good pieces here. Hooking me up with some good ones. What's up, buddy? Come on up. Alright, alright, alright. Fitz, sit down. Fitz, buddy, sit down. Okay. Fitz, it glitched again? Oh no, guys. This could be one of those games, man. One of those glitch fests. See if I can jiggle it. Maybe it'll work. No go. That was disappointing. I had a good draw there with pieces. We're gonna beat one without it glitching out. I'm gonna do it successfully. Three, two, one, cannon. Oh no, I didn't get that ship. Oh no, this is a much worse run. Mitch, it is interesting. I think it is an interesting game, but apparently I have a bit of a glitchy copy here. I'm sure folks have seen it. It's not been great. It's been a little glitchy. Been a little glitchy. Whew. Build phase. Time for the attack phase. Cross your fingers. No glitches. No glitches. No glitches. No glitches. I don't know how many like rounds. Oh, I gotta place cannons. Never mind. Never mind. I gotta do cannons. They keep giving me more cannons in between rounds too. Hey, that wasn't too bad. Maybe it was bad. They kind of did get me. I didn't realize it, but I think that was kind of bad. Alright, we'll just put you there, and then put you over here, and then put you here, and then there. That's good. Oh, come on, give me some bigger pieces. Good lord. I'm trying to get both those castles in one enclosure, but I have a feeling... Oh man, I'm gonna get 2 more cannons and I don't have any like place. If the cannons aren't enclosed, then they don't actually fire, but I think I can still place them. But I mean, obviously I'm gonna place them like there so they can all shoot. I was gonna say, did I not get that guy? Oh, I'm screwed if I didn't get that guy. Oh, that was a good round. That was a good round. They got nothing. They got nothing. Can't place it. Ah, I was so close. That was the worst Tetris piece to get right there. Yeah, Mitch, we were having some glitches. I mean, we haven't seen any glitches on this round, but I'm like, it's bad enough, you know how it gets that like I'm afraid to reach over for my cocktail, because if I just nudge the console just a little too hard, it's over. It won't let me place cannons because I don't have any other territory. Oh, so it won't even let me place them. Oh no, they're grunts. They got the grunts. Ships are getting faster too. I don't like that. I'm not thrilled about that. Kind of unpredictable here with these ships. Oh, that sucked, man. They got wrecked there. They got straight wrecked. Oh, there's only... running out of time. The pressure. Ah! Boom. It's not a pretty castle, guys, but it'll do the job. It'll do the job. I think there's just a set number of waves that you have to get through. Yeah. I don't think it has to do with like how many castles you've enclosed. It's just like there's like 3 waves and then 5 waves and then 7 waves and then whatever. So which territory? This one or this one? This one looks easier. See how the map sort of matches? This one looks a little easier because there's less water here. So I feel like I can like... Man. I don't know. What do you guys think? What's I guess it's that. They don't give you a lot of time. You got to make some snap decisions. Just put my cannons here. That should be good enough. Oh my god, they're so fast. Look how fast they are. Holy cow, did I even get one ship? Dude, I didn't even get all the ships. That's how bad I did. Good lord. What is this? What is this shape? What are these shapes? Oh my god, the shapes get stupider too. Alright, I guess I have to. I have to do that. Oh my god, this isn't good, guys. This is not a good defense. This castle... Look, it's even got the yellow... Oh man, it's got the yellow sail that leaves the flaming craters already. This is trouble. This is nothing but trouble, guys. Buria, good to see you in the chat. I think your E key is still stuck. We gotta get this yellow guy first, because he leaves holes in the map that you cannot build over. So if his cannons hit, you're in trouble. I cannot get that. Oh, I got him. Got him with my last cannonball. Holy cow, this is brutal. Oh, I'm out of time. I'm out of time. Oh, I did it. Thank God. With no time left on the clock. The last piece. Holy crap. I told you this was going to be a fast-paced strategy game. You do not have time to think. You just got to start throwing up walls like a maniac. But we did it. And now we get 2 more cannons. So that's nice. Ooh, 3 more cannons. Even better. They're too far away from the ocean. That was my mistake. I think I can rebuild. I think I can rebuild. It's not terrible. It's not terrible. Not great, but it's not terrible. Oh, that was fortunate. We got like mega lucky there. Ah, dang it. That sucks. I really need to get my cannons into the front wall, the front fortifications, because they're too far away. Also, I'm gonna get 2 cannons, but I only have room for 1. That's the only square I can put a cannon in. I don't think I can put one anywhere else. Come on, get some of them at the end. Oh, God. My base is ruined. My base is ruined. Dude, I can't build on the cannons. Oh, there's some strategy I didn't realize. I totally screwed myself, I think. Because I can't build on those I shouldn't have placed those extra cannons. Okay, I can continue. Dang. Alright, so we're definitely going to go up here this time. I need to get cannons close to the water. Okay, you do get some extra continues. So that's nice. Let's do that. Let's do that. The cannons actually ended up screwing me over in the last game. That was easy. Was it that easy last time? I'm only gonna get to fit one cannon in there though. Normally you get 2 extra ones, but now I'm only gonna get 1 extra one. This game is hard. Once you get the hang of it, it's kind of hard. I guess I could put a cannon there. Okay. What's this ship doing? He's just hanging out over there for some reason. That was a good level. I kicked that level's butt. Ooh, that feels good. That's pretty good, guys. I think we're pretty well set this time around. I think my bad mistake was picking the wrong castle to start with, you know? This is pretty good. This is pretty good. Oh, I got this. I got this. What is this piece? I don't even know, man. What are we even doing here? What is this? Ooh, I didn't realize that. Oh, no. Oh, no. Thank God. Got those little infantrymen trying to get into my castle. I don't know what that guy's doing there. I think that's what it is. I think it's like a foot soldier. Oh man, more cannons, eh? I don't want any more cannons. I got plenty of cannons, guys. The cannons are just getting in the way. Ooh, okay. Dude, what? This piece isn't gonna help me. This piece isn't gonna help me. Oh my god, I couldn't... Oh, I lost. Damn. Well, it's not my fault they kept giving me all those crappy pieces. There's no way I could... Ah, this sucks. Alright, let's try a different strategy. Find a castle way far away from everything and use that one. Let's see if this strategy is better. I don't know what the strategy is. I've never played this game before. I don't think it lets me like use the wall either, which is dumb. It doesn't. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Alright, I guess that's that. Here. Here's what I'm gonna do. There. I'm gonna put a cannon there. Maybe that'll like distract the ships. This is some next level. This is some big brain strategy right here. Maybe that'll work. Maybe they'll focus their fire on this little section and leave my castle in the back alone. The castle in the back's just gonna get just destroyed. They didn't really go for the front one. Well, now I'm screwed again because there's no squares left. Like I can't use any of these pieces up there. Oh my god, are you kidding me? What is this piece? Oh my god. All right. I guess that. Dude, this is just brutal. This is brutal. I can't use any of those cannons in the main hub because there's no way I can repair the wall. Oh my god. This game is hard. Oh, thank god it cleared out all that nonsense for me. I get 2 cannons, guys. Look how fast this ship is. Kill him. He's not moving. Dude, kill this thing. This is stupid. Oh my god, what am I even building? I don't even know. Holy cow. Oh my god, that's bad. Man, we might not even beat this on today's show. We might not even beat this first level or second level. How many waves of ships do I have to endure? Well, I get 1 more cannon, that's it. Oh no, this isn't good. I blew up all the ships, though. That was hard to do. What? I mean, my base is just such a joke. There's no way. My aim is getting better. I'm not worried about the attack phase. I'm worried about the build phase. The build phase is impossible. Good Lord. Well, that's it, folks. That was my last continue. We're only going to get one more round of continues here. Wiz, Fixel, and DPO. G. I think we'll just put G. Leave it at that. Oh, okay. GZA. There you go. This game's addicting. It's a little addicting. I mean, it's hard. It's definitely hard. That's not what I meant. Oh, well. I think I only have to do 3 waves of bad guys here, so should be easy enough. Should be all of them, right? Oh, I missed this guy. No way. Oh no, I thought I had him. Dang it! I got complacent. I got too cocky. So they give you nice little easy pieces here. That's the problem. That's the problem with the next level. They give you like garbage pieces. They do more harm than good. But you can't like cycle through them and take a new piece. You have to place it. And then you just screw yourself. How did you not kill this guy? I hit him like 6 times. Come on. I hate that. I hate that. Alright, alright. Let's get you, get you. Get you. Get you. Get you. Get you. I'm not going to get a lot of points in this round. I just want to get through this level because I know I can beat this level. I don't know if I can beat the other level, but I'm going to try the other option because they gave you 2 options. I thought the one with the bay would be easier. There's no place I can put this cannon. Why are you giving me a cannon? There's nowhere I can place it. All right. Here we go. Here we go. Shoot the grunts. Cease fire! Oh, this is silly. Boom. Is that it though? I don't think I have to do another wave. I think I just win. I think that's the level, isn't it? I think it's only 3 waves on this first level, right? Oh, no. Okay. Place the cannons, I guess. Well, lucky for me. Ooh, I get a lot of cannon. Excellent. 4 extra cannons. Oh, it's game over here. I think I got to shoot a little early. I jumped the gun on my cannon launching. Dude, this one's getting away from me. Dude, all those cannons missed him. That's crazy. I feel like that's got to be it, right? I don't remember this first level being so long. Blue Army conquers. Woo! Alright, instead of doing this, let's do this. Let's try this other option here. Maybe this one will be a little easier. I think we'll pick that guy. That looks like a good option, right? Oh, dang. Cannon. 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 Oh, they're so fast. I got one ship. I got one ship. Oh my god, I'm screwed. I'm screwed, guys. Oh my god, there's three ships with yellow sails. They leave little flaming craters in the ground. And you can't build on those squares. Oh my god. That's not good, guys. That is not good. We are in trouble. There's so many flaming holes. What is happening? Oh no. Oh no. Oh, I can't put it there? Oh, no. We never stood a chance. Holy cow. What a nightmare. Oh my goodness. I can't even get past the second level in this game. That was ugly. Did we just pick the wrong base? Should we start with a different base? Maybe one closer to the water? Maybe that'll make the assault a little easier to deal with. I left way too many ships. Okay, here we go, here we go. We'll be alright, we'll be alright. That first one. Second one. Come on, get him, get him! Holy cow! That sucked! Ooh, we got a subscriber! NZ Dark Lord 84 Gaming! Thanks for subscribing. Appreciate the support. All right, all right, all right. Whew, whew, whew. How many cannons do we get? 1, 2, Three extra cannons. Alright. Oh, look, they're all cornered. They're all gonna crash on one another. Excellent. Oh, that couldn't have gone better. It's exactly the piece I needed. Thank you. I don't know what I was doing there. I was just throwing pieces down just as a distraction. Just as a distraction. Maybe the ships will leave me alone. They won't. They won't leave me alone. That's the problem. Alright. We got tons of cannons now. That was pretty fast. Alright, alright. We just need one piece. That's it. Boom. Hell yeah. Okay. I don't know what I'm doing here. I don't have a plan, guys. I don't have a plan. Guess I need to be careful here and like encapsulate these. That's alright. It's probably only one more wave, and I can fit some more cannons in. As long as I can blow these ships up really fast, we should be good. We should be good. As long as I can blow the ships up really freaking fast. That is a lot of cannons. It's a lot of ships, too. Only one guy got through. Am I going to be able to build? Am I going to be able to fix it? Oh, damn. Forget it. Let's just try to build this guy in. So at minimum, we have that. If I can't get anything else built, at least I have that built. Oh, but I have no cannons. Oh, please call that a blue victory. Just call it a blue victory. Don't make me go another wave. Yes! Yes! Oh, now I have to do that one? Is that what you're telling me? Oh, no. Oh, guys, we got like 12 minutes left tops. I hate this level. I think I did best when I started here. I mean, it wasn't pretty, but I got the job done. Dude, 5 ships? You're gonna give me 5 ships to start? That's kind of crappy. Oh, and they're fast too. Dude, my entire fort is destroyed. There's like nothing left here. And there's fire pits. Holy cow. That's disgusting. That is just disgusting. I never stood a chance here. Never stood a chance. This one was over before it began. One wave. Done. That was a joke there. Holy cow. Alright. Just give me the continue. Blue army defeated. Dude, last time I picked that castle, I must have got real lucky. I don't know. I'm picking it again. I like having the cannons real close to the water because then I don't have to lead the ships as much, you know? That's my strategy. Get the cannons up as close to the waterfront as you can. Now there's only 3 ships. What's that about? This is going to be easy now. Look. What's that about? Is it just totally random? Like, must be. Oh no. No glitch. Oh, it was just... Oh, come on. We had no glitches. We had no glitches with this cartridge the whole show. Oh, you gotta be kidding me. Were you just sitting on that? Come on, Rampart. You were just holding that? You were just holding that glitch for me? Oh, you son of a bitch. Oh, you son of a bitch. Oh, you're the worst. Oh, you're the worst. No. No. Alright, guys. That's going to be it. I mean, we're pretty close to time anyway. We were probably going to die before beating this level because there's like 8 or 9 waves of nonsense. But give it a wiggle. See if it starts up again. It does not. That's going to be it for Rampart on the NES Happy Hour with Fitz and Master G. Thank you guys for tuning in, putting up with that glitchy cartridge. You know, you pretty much saw all there was to see in this game. You saw the different types of ships. You saw the different difficulty levels, different waves, the different pieces of wall, and enough strategy to know that it's not as easy as it looks. Because if you start building walls that you don't actually need, they actually come back to bite you later, and then you're screwed. So that happened a few times. Also, they keep giving you tons and tons of cannons, but the cannons also screw you over. Why? Because they take up space. The only way you die in this game, the only way you lose a life, is by not being able to build around any castles in the build phase. And you only have like 25 seconds. So the only way to die happens in the build phase, not the attack phase. You could put 50 cannons out there. They take up space, and then in the build phase, you can't build over top of them. So, like, you screw yourself because you have too many cannons in the way. You can't connect your walls. So, I mean, that was Rampart. It's a fun little game. It's interesting. It's addicting. It's got me thinking. It's got me thinking there about the right strategies to employ. But, you know, that was the game. You saw enough of it. You weren't missing anything. We weren't going to beat this game anyway. It gets ridiculously hard. And you can well imagine this would be pretty fun to play with 2-player. Instead of ships floating in on the water, the 2-player mode, it's all land. You each pick a castle from one of any number of like 8 or 9 castles, and then you shoot cannons at each other. Try to blow up each other's walls instead of the ships. So obviously 2-player would be a lot more fun, but that's all we're going to get to see for today's gameplay segment. The fun's not over on the NES Happy Hour. You fans of the show know we end every episode, every show, with a bar trivia challenge, and it's one of the most fun things to participate in, especially if you're watching live. I'll play the game show host. I'll ask you guys 5 multiple choice questions. You shout out your answers. We'll put the chat on the screen. If anybody goes 5 for 5, I will give you a virtual high five, because my bar trivia challenge is a challenge indeed. I usually make my questions pretty hard, and you're going to have to know a thing or two about the Middle Ages, about medieval warfare and history in order to go 5 for 5 today. In fact, this bar trivia challenge after our break here, this might be the hardest bar trivia challenge of all of season 5. Stick around. You're not going to want to miss it. It's going to be loads of fun. But we're going to take a short 3-minute break first so I can collect myself and get ready. We'll see you after that short break. Woo! Okay, guys, we're back. We're back. The NES Happy Hour with Fitz and Master G. Back just in time for our bar trivia challenge. If you're joining us late, I'm sorry you missed the gameplay segment. It was a fun little game we played today from the Nintendo Entertainment System. A fun little addicting strategy tower defense game called Rampart. The video will be up afterwards, so if you missed the gameplay segment, fear not. You'll get to watch. You'll also get to find out about our great cocktail recipes. Cheers. But it's not time for that. It's not time for that at all. Now is the time for the Bar Trivia Challenge Rampart Edition here on the NES Happy Hour. Now, fans of the show, you've played before. You know how this works. I will be your game show host. You will be my unwitting contestants. I have scoured the internet before today's show. I've come up with 5 multiple choice questions. I put them in order from what I think is the easiest to what I think is the hardest, and I always save my favorite one for last. Question number 5. They're all multiple choice, A, B, C, or D. Today's bar trivia challenge is pretty hard. It's all going to have a medieval theme because we played this Rampart game about castle defenses and sieges. So yeah, I hope you studied. I hope you studied your medieval history because you're going to need it on today's Bar Trivia Challenge. And if you haven't, you should feel free to guess. Shout your answers. They'll appear above me in the chat. Just shout out A, B, C, or D. You know, even guessing, you only have to guess right 5 times to go 5 for 5. It's very hard to do. I make my questions pretty challenging. Are you guys ready? Okay, I think I'm ready. I think you're ready. I think I'm ready. I think it's time to get started. Question number 1. Usually the warm-up question. I hope I can give you at least 1 or 2 that you guys can get easily. You know, you don't have to think too hard, or at least you can make some educated guesses on. Here's question number 1, your warm-up question. Which invention effectively rendered the building of castles for defense useless? So which of the following inventions made castles as defense useless? Was it A, the invention of the battering ram? Was it B, the invention of gunpowder? Was it C, the invention of the crossbow? Or was it D, the invention of the trebuchet? Those are your choices. One of these medieval era inventions actually rendered the building of castles for defense kind of pointless. Which one was it? Put your guesses in the chat. I will start the clock. You have 10 seconds to think about it. Starts now. Whew. Mitch is going with A. Mitch is going with A. Jane P, good to see you. Just in time for bar trivia. You're going with D, the trebuchet. All great medieval inventions. Anybody else playing? We got 2 contestants. Ooh, guys. The answer is actually gunpowder, which was invented in China around the time. And you saw the cannons. You saw the cannons in today's game. Once cannons came around, using gunpowder to fire steel balls, they pretty much stopped building castles as forts. They still built castles for royalty, but they didn't really intend for them to withstand assaults. The battering ram was invented in the Middle Ages. It was used. Crossbows, trebuchets, they're those funny-looking catapults. But as soon as cannons came around, that's when they stopped building castle forts. Because it didn't matter how thick that stone wall was, you just blast those cannonballs at it with your gunpowder, and you will eventually blow up every square inch of that castle. So there was no point in building castles after the invention of gunpowder. Like I said, they still built castles, but it was mostly just for royalty and to show off your wealth. They weren't actually built as like fortifications after the invention of gunpowder. So that is the answer, B, gunpowder. That's the one we were looking for. Let's continue, because I'm sure you guys are going to get at least 1 or 2 of the rest of them. They go in some different directions. This was a warfare question, an invention question. Question number 2 is also more of the same. And this one will be easy for you to guess because there's only going to be 2 multiple choice questions, or 2 multiple choice answers for this question. The question is this: an important bit of defensive engineering within the castle walls was the spiral staircase. Think about it. It was defensive engineering. It wasn't just a funny staircase. It wasn't just an efficient staircase. It was actually designed with defense in mind. Within medieval castles, the spiral staircases always turn which direction? Is it A, clockwise, or B, counterclockwise? Those are your choices. Think about it. But it's true. All medieval castles built as defensive fortifications have spiral staircases in them. Well, at least most of them do. And if they do have spiral staircases in them, all of the spiral staircases spiral in one direction. Which direction is it? 10 seconds. I told you this one was going to be the hardest Spar Trivia challenge of the whole season. If you guys can get through this, you've made it through the hardest part. Certainly the rest of the week Spar Trivia are going to be pretty fun. You guys are both going A, clockwise. You guys are both correct. Now the real question is, do you know why all the spiral staircases go clockwise? Do you know why? I'll tell you. I'll tell you what I found out scouring the internet for trivia. Yeah, even in your video game, Mitch, Stairs and Castle game you're playing are clockwise. Why? It's not magic. It's not superstition. It's not evil. It's actually because most warriors, as you may well imagine, were right-handed, meaning they carried their sword in their right hand. They carried their crossbows, perhaps, in their right hand. And that means they used their left hands to hold the center pole in the spiral staircase, right? The center was what you held on to. So if the staircases went clockwise, that meant people running up the staircase who carried all their weapons in their right hand had to switch their weapons to the left hand to hold on and like go up the staircase really fast. But everybody at the top of the staircase defending the castle, they held on with their left hand. They had their weapons in their right hand free, and they could use their right hand because most of them are right-handed. So it was important that your spiral staircases all went clockwise, so people at the top of your spiral staircase defending could hold on and use their right hand for their swords. People running up the spiral staircase either had to put the sword in their left hand or not hold on to anything as they climbed the stairs. And that's why your medieval spiral staircases all go in a clockwise direction. Now you can bust that out at a cocktail party and impress all your friends. Tell them why, too. They'll be interested to know. And of course, if you were left-handed, great. You're probably really good at invading castles and really bad at defending them. If you happen to be left-handed. All right, guys, question number 3. You're both 1 out of 2 today. We do have Jane and Mitch playing with us live. I see some more live viewers in the chat. You can play if you want. It's not too late. Shout out answers. Guessing is encouraged. Okay, question number 3 is this. Test how much you know about the definition of the catapult. Which of the following medieval siege weapons is not a type of catapult by definition? Is it A, the trebuchet? Is it B, the mangonel? Is it C, the arbalest? Or is it D, the ballista? Which of the following medieval siege weapons is not a type of catapult? Those are your choices. You have 10 seconds. I hope you've been studying up on your medieval warfare. I'll start the clock now. Guys, I told you. I warned you. This isn't even the hardest question. The next one is the hardest question. You're going D, ballista. Ballistas are the ones that they're like the giant arrow shooting. But instead of like an arrow, instead of like a crossbow with an arrow, the ballistas are the ones that shoot the like tree trunk. You know what I mean? Like the giant arrow. Jane P's going arbalest. That is a great guess. You must know what the arbalest was. The arbalest was actually just a heavy-duty crossbow, and it had like a crank on it. So this was a hand-to-hand combat weapon. This is a weapon that medieval warriors would wield. The arbalest was actually a type of crossbow. Now the trebuchet was like a giant catapult that was like a slingshot. So you put the rock in like a slingshot, launched the lever, and it flung it from like a sling. The mangonel is actually just another word for a catapult. That's what it was. When you think in your mind, what does a catapult look like? It looks like that. It's, it just cranks down and there's a little scoop on the end and you put the rock in and then you cut the wire. It's tension. It launches. That's what a mangonel is. It is what you think of when you think of a catapult. And I just described the ballista. It was another, it was kind of like a giant crossbow, but it does fall into the category of types of catapults. The arbalest, though, just a regular old crossbow pretty much. It had some inventive engineering for how to load the arrows, but it was wielded in hand-to-hand combat, mano a mano, not a medieval siege weapon. You remember it from Dark Souls. See, video games teach you stuff. It's true. And the NES Happy Hour will make sure you learn something, even if our games are just for fun. You will leave every episode of this show with some useless knowledge in your head that you didn't have before. All right, guys, question number 4 is the one I have marked as the hardest question. Save my favorite for last. You're going to have to know some history for this one. Here's the question. Perhaps the most famous, the Siege of Chateau Galliard, saw which legendary English king, known as Lionheart, slain after being shot in the neck by a boy wielding a crossbow? So probably the most famous medieval siege of all time, the Siege of Chateau Galliard. That is the siege where one of these legendary English kings, known as Lionheart, was killed after being shot in the neck by a boy wielding a crossbow, a child. Was that king A, Richard I? Was it B, Henry V? Was it C, Charles I? Or D, Henry VIII? Those are your choices. I'm going to let you think about it. I'll put the time on the clock. I'm going to step away and let Fitz back in the room. I hear him crying outside my door. Think about it. Get your guesses in the chat. You have 10 seconds. Clock starts now. You going to be the host, Fitz? Are you going to be the host of the show? Or are you just going to bite me because I'm not paying enough attention to you? Mitch is guessing B, Henry V. That's a good guess. I tried to give you guys some clues. This king was nicknamed or went by the nickname Lionheart. Jane P., you're going with A. You must know some history. You must know that Richard, the very first King Richard, was known as Richard the Lionheart. And he was behind the castle walls in the most famous siege probably of all time. And interestingly enough, he did not die after being shot through the neck by a little kid with a crossbow. They actually got the arrow out, and he died a little bit later just because it got infected. But, he just picked up where he was, and the siege continued after he got shot through the neck by a boy wielding a crossbow. The two Henrys were a little bit later, although Henry V, I think, might have been medieval time. Henry VIII was the one who just kept chopping off all his wives' heads. He came about much, much later in history. Charles I actually came about earlier, like in the early Middle Ages, I believe. He's actually known as Charlemagne, and he was one of the very first of the great English kings. Richard the Lionheart is the answer we were looking for. Richard I. Yes, indeed. So that's a little bit for you there. We got one more question for you. I don't think I'll need my notes for this because Fitz is sitting on my lap here trying to get some attention or either eat some food out of my hand that I don't have. I don't have any food. I don't know why he thinks there's food there, but he just will not stop licking. Mitch, it's okay if you're 1 for 5 because if you get this last one, you'll go 2 for 5. And I always tell people that's normal. That is par for the course. If you get 2 out of 5 questions, you've done a good job. I hope you get this last one. The pressure is now on you to continue your momentum from your first 5 out of 5 last Friday. Jane, you're doing pretty good though. I think you've only got one wrong here, so that's quite impressive as well. Let's get to the 5th and final question. I always save it for last. It is this. Oh man, you might if you know me, you might get this one. I'll just leave it at that. I don't know how to pronounce this castle. Český Krumlov Castle. It's a real-life fortification. It's located in the current-day Czech Republic. It was built in the 13th century, however. It was in operation in the 13th century. That's the 1200s there in the Czech Republic. This particular castle is well known for a very unique moat. It's known for being regularly filled with what? And this moat was filled with this for most of its history, including back in the 12th century and even oftentimes today. It's a real-life castle built in the 1200s, located in the Czech Republic, and it is known the world over, very well known, for a moat that is filled with what? Is that moat filled with acid? Is that moat filled with spiders? Is that moat filled with human skulls? Or is that moat filled with bears? Those are your choices. 10 seconds. I'll start the clock now. 3, 2, 1. Mitch is going with D, bears. Jane, do you have a guess? Jane P. Mitch says, I gotta guess B, bears, LMAO, like Anchorman. Jane is going with C, human skulls. Those are 2 very good guesses. And believe it or not, the answer is D, bears. This is a true story. Look it up. This castle was well known for having a moat that its king regularly stocked with actual wild, aggressive, and partially starving bears. That's right. Instead of filling the moat with water, he filled it with bears, and they were hungry bears. And if anybody ever fell into the waterless moat, they would get torn to shred by actual bears. And to this day, they still fill the moat with bears, although they treat them very humanely. They're not wild, aggressive, man-devouring bears like they were back in the 12th century. Today, I think it's like a ceremonial thing. I think they do like bring out bears from like the local zoo or whatever, and they actually feed them, and people go see the bears at Krumlov Castle, and it's like a, it's kind of like a zoo exhibit. You can walk around the castle grounds. There's all kinds of bears down in the moat, getting fed and playing on jungle gyms for stimulation or whatever. But this castle is actually well known because after they built it, they thought, what's the most terrifying thing we could fill our moat with to keep people out of our castle, and they decided to fill it with bears, wild bears. So they went out into the woods, they captured a whole bunch of crazy angry bears, and they dropped them into the moat, and they couldn't get out of the moat, because the walls were too high and there's no water in it, and the bears were just basically prisoners in the castle moat, and they would keep the bears really, really angry and hungry all the time. So that way, when they were invaded, you had to cross the bear moat in order to get to the castle. So that is question number 5. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you learned some things today. You both did really well. Mitch, I think you're 2 for 5. Jane, you're 3 for 5. Both very, very respectable scores, especially considering that I'm pretty sure this is the hardest of all our bar trivia challenges for season 5. I know for sure the next 3 games this week are going to be much easier and quite a lot of fun. But you guys were great sports for playing along. Thank you for sticking with it and participating, our live viewers. You guys on the Bar Trivia Challenge Rampart edition on the NES Happy Hour. with Fitz and Master G. A round of applause. Give them a round of applause, Fitzy. Good boy. Thank you, guys. Give yourselves a round of applause. You guys are great. Well, like I said, it was a great show. It was fun. It was a fun game. I hope you guys enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed having you, our live viewers. I certainly enjoyed you, Mitch and Jane, participating live in our Bar Trivia Challenge. I'm glad you guys learned some things. I told you, I will fill your heads up with completely useless information that will never help you in any way. But you can impress your friends with these little tidbits of trivia you learn on the NES Happy Hour Bar Trivia Challenge. If you guys enjoyed this episode, if you liked what you saw, it'd mean the world to us to have you as a subscriber. You can subscribe to the YouTube channel, Retro Gaming Adventures with Master G, just by clicking the button. It's totally free. It costs absolutely nothing. We set a goal for ourselves back in like April or May to try to get to 1,000 subscribers by the end of this year. We do only have about 15 or 16 days left, and we are about 280 subscribers away. So if you heard me say that, if you're watching live or if you're watching after the fact, check that subscribe button. And if you're not subscribed, click it for us. We love having your support, and we'd love to have you as a subscriber if you are not already a subscriber to this fantastic channel. Possibly the greatest content available on YouTube today. When are you going to get such an adorable puppy and great old school Nintendo games and completely original cocktail recipes and a bar trivia challenge? We offer so much. If you love the show, you should subscribe. It's totally free. And while you're there, watch some videos. Go on over to our website, www.fitsandmasterg.com. You can watch live there. You can watch old videos there. You can put $1 in this tip jar. If you do, you get to write a little message. It'll show up on the screen, just like when we get new subscribers while we're live. What else? Our social media links are there. You can follow me on Twitter at HeyMasterG. Never miss out on whenever we're going live or whenever we have upcoming videos. You can follow him on Instagram. If all you want to do is look at puppy pics all day, this little puppy's Instagram page is up there on the website. So just click the Instagram button and you can look at pictures of Fitz all day. And then we also put our drink recipes up on the website the night before. So shortly after this show, I'll put up the recipes for tomorrow's game, and you can get to work gathering the ingredients, either the alcoholic one or the non-alcoholic one, whichever you prefer. And you probably want to know what we're playing tomorrow, because we will be back live at 4 p.m. Eastern. Same time, same place, right here on the channel tomorrow. We're going to be playing Blades of Steel. I don't know. Is Blades of Steel your favorite hockey game on the Nintendo? I think there were only 3. There was ice hockey, there was Blades of Steel, and there was Wayne Gretzky's hockey. I think they go in that order, personally. I am more of a fan of ice hockey than I am of Blades of Steel, but ice hockey and Blades of Steel are always debated which one is the best hockey game for the Nintendo. One of them has fun arcade action, the other one has fighting. Wayne Gretzky's hockey isn't as good as these two. That's what I'm saying. We're going to be playing a sports game tomorrow. We're going to be playing Blades of Steel. We'll have 2 more fantastic cocktail recipes. We'll have another manual. We'll have another hour of gameplay. I might actually win a hockey game tomorrow, a hockey match. And, of course, we're going to have another bar trivia challenge. And it's going to be a funny one. I'm quite proud of the bar trivia challenge for tomorrow's episode. It won't just be tons of sports trivia. In fact, all of the questions in tomorrow's bar trivia challenge have something to do with hockey fights or fighting in hockey, because Blades of Steel is known as being part sports game, part fighting game. There's a lot of fighting. There's a lot of fighting in Blades of Steel and a lot of hockey. So you're not going to miss that. We hope to have you back again tomorrow live on the show, live viewers. And if you miss it live, you can always watch it after the fact. We are going to air that live on the channel, Retro Gaming Adventures with Master G, at 4 p.m. Eastern tomorrow. That's it for today. I'm done. I think I'm done. Cheers, everyone. Have a good night. Stay safe. Take care of yourselves. And meet me back here tomorrow for another great episode of the NES Happy Hour. We'll see you then.